Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NCAA College Football Week 8. What a Week 7 we had. Straight up picks, I was 22-6. Year-to-date, 163-60. Against the spread, 19-9. Year-to-date, 117-106. Over-under, 13-15. Year-to-date, 106-117. We had some good games. We had a couple upsets, I believe. Let me go back to last week's. Oh, wow! I misfigured this. Currently, there is 7 minutes to go in the Appalachian State Coastal Carolina game, and I do have that game on here. It is currently tied with 27-27. I'm actually picking Coastal Carolina to win -3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 59.5. But yeah, so technically right now we are 54, so we're not over that, and it's tied with 7 minutes and 5 seconds left. So we'll see how that game comes out. I was thinking that game was tomorrow night. My bad. So we'll try to get this up before. I don't think I'll get this up before that game goes off. So yeah, we had a 17 seed Arkansas lose last week. We had a 20 seed Florida lose last week. So yeah, I mean, some top 25 teams lost last week. Let me see who else suffered a big loss. We've already had Alabama lose this year. Let's see here. They smoked Mississippi State last week, but the week before they lost. Let's see. Looks like the 18th Arizona State lost last week. So yeah, we had some mixed up in the top 20, top 25. We had that double overtime game for San Diego State, which they came out over San Jose State. So we're going to jump right into this here. We're starting with the number 2 seed, the American Conference Cincinnati Bearcats, going up against the 6-0, going up against the 1-5 Navy Midshipmen. The Bearcats are favored by 27. I got them winning, covering, and over or under on the 51.5. Out of the Big 12, the third seed Oklahoma State Sooners 7-0 versus the 1-5 Kansas Jayhawks. Oklahoma is favored by 38. I got Kansas covering that. I am taking Sooners to win, Jayhawks to cover, over on the 67.5. Out of the SEC, the Tennessee Volunteers 4-3 versus the number 4 ranked Crimson Tide, who are 6-1. Alabama is favored by 27.5. I got them winning, Tennessee covering, and under on the 67. Out of the Big Ten, the 5th seed Ohio State Buckeyes 5-1 versus the 2-4 Indiana Hoosiers. Ohio State is favored by 19. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 60. Also out of the Big Ten, we have the Northwestern Wildcats 3-3 versus the number 6 seed Michigan Wolverines, who are 6-0. Now, I have a small problem with our ranking system. We have the 5 seed 5-1. We have the 6 seed 6-0. Now, on the opponent winning percentage, Ohio State has the 11th best at 5.38. Michigan has the 14th best at 5.12. Now, that loss was to the 5-1 Oregon Ducks, but it's still a loss. I don't think that loss is that much better than 5.38 versus 5.12 opponent winning percentage. But it is what it is. If I'm going to do rankings, that's a lot of work. I might end up trying to do it for the playoffs, but hey, we'll see. Michigan -21.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 50. We have the 10 seed, Big Ten. We have the 7 seed Penn State Nittany Lions 5-1, hosting the 2-5 Illinois Fighting Illini. So if we think a one-loss team is better than a winless team, undefeated team, then we have a 5-1 team here that is the 3rd best opponent win percentage. So they played a stronger schedule at 6-06, and they only lost to Iowa, who's 6-1. So Iowa is a better team than Oregon. So why is Ohio State 5th, and Penn State 7th. It's a good question, because Penn State has played a tougher schedule than Ohio State. Penn State is favored against the Illinois Fighting Illini, who are 2-5. They're favored by 23.5. I got the Nittany Lions winning, covering an under on the 46.5. Out of the Big 12, we have the 8th seed Oklahoma State Cowboys, 6-0, taking on the Iowa State Cyclones, who are 4-2. So now we have an undefeated team who has the 7th best winning percentage at 558. A undefeated team who are 2 spots above them, who have the 14th best winning percentage of 512. Now, okay, we're talking about points. Michigan does put more points on the board, and their defense is a little bit better. So maybe that's the caveat there. Oklahoma State is favored by 6.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 47. So that Coastal Carolina and App State game is still tied at 27. Let me get back to it here. Yep, 6:49 left. They're still tied at 27. All right, out of the Pac-12, we have the 10th seed Oregon Ducks, who are 5-1, going up against UCLA, who are 5-2. Now, Oregon is 5-1, but their one loss was to a 3-4 Stanford team. UCLA is actually scoring as many points as they are. Oregon is favored by 1. I'm going for the upset here. I got UCLA upsetting Oregon in UCLA. It is a 1.5 point game, so I'm giving that to the UCLA Bruins plus 1.5 and over on the 57.5. Next up, we give the SEC 12th ranked Ole Miss Rebels, who are 5-1, hosting the LSU Tigers, who are 4-3. So here's a one-loss team that is ranked 12th. They have the 9th best opponent win percentage of 545. That is better than Oregon, but yet they're 12th. Oregon is 10th. Don't make much sense, but hey, what do I know, right? They're actually better than the 6th seed, who's undefeated. But they do have the one loss, so that does matter as well. Ole Miss is favored by 10.5. I got them winning, covering. I'm taking under on the 75.5. Next up, out of the Pac-12 versus the Indy, we have the 13th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are 5-1, going up against or hosting the USC Trojans, who are 3-3. Notre Dame, 6th best point winning percentage at 567. Their only loss to the number 2 seed undefeated Cincinnati Bearcats. So that's, if you look at losses, that's a really good loss. But yet they're only ranked 13th. And you have an Alabama who lost to a 5-2 Texas A&M. It's ranked 4th. I don't know who's doing these rankings right now, but what are they on? Notre Dame is favored by 6.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 58. The game that we just talked about there, the 14th seed Coastal Carolina. Like I said, I picked the Coastal Carolina to win, cover the 3 points, over on the 59.5. Is currently tied at 27 with 6:49 left. We have the 16th seed Wake Forest Demon Deacons, 6-0, going against the 4-2 Army West Point Black Knights. Wake Forest is favored by 3. I get them winning, covering, and over on the 52. Out of the SEC, the South Carolina Gamecocks, 4-3, going against the 17th ranked Texas A&M Aggies, who are 5-2. Yeah, this opens another can of worms. We have a 17th ranked Texas A&M Aggies, who are 5-2. Unless I put down the wrong rankings here, and let's check this out here. Oops. Unless they changed them since the weekend. So 17th seed Texas A&M with 2 losses. They are favored by 19.5. I got them winning, covering, and over in the 44. Now we have the 1-5 Tulane Green Wave going against the 21st ranked SMU Mustangs, who are 6-0. So we have a 21st ranked team that's 6-0. Yeah, their opponent winning percentage is trash, so that's understandable. But still, against a 2-loss team, Mississippi State and Arkansas. Those are the 2 losses. Yeah, not good. SMU is favored by 14. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 70. Now we have the 22nd ranked San Diego State Aztecs 6-0 versus an unranked Air Force Falcons who are 6-1. Air Force is favored by 4. I'm actually taking Air Force at home to win, covering over on the 41. Now the ACC, we have the 4-2 Clemson Tigers. So this 4-2 team is not ranked, but the 5-2 team is ranked 17th. 23rd ranked, Clemson is going against the 23rd ranked Pittsburgh Panthers, who are 5-1. Pittsburgh is favored by 3.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 47. Next up, the 24th ranked University of Texas San Antonio Red Raiders, who are 7-0, versus the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, who are 2-4. Not pushing the fact that they're 7-0 because their opponent winning percentage is .315. They're 26th. So their opponent winning percentage is not good at all. They're favored by 6. I got them winning, covering, and over in the 58. And then the last of the ranked teams, the Big Ten, Wisconsin Badgers 3-3. 25th ranked Purdue Boilermakers, who are 4-2. Now they do have the 8th best opponent winning percentage, but they get the 2 losses, Minnesota and Notre Dame. Wisconsin is favored by 3. I'm giving it 3 points to Purdue. I got the Purdue Boilermakers winning, covering, and over on the 39. And we get 3 other games on the slate. We have the East Carolina Pirates 3-3 versus the 5-1 Houston Cougars. Houston is favored by 13. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 58. Memphis Tigers 4-3 versus the UCF Knights, who are 3-3. UCF is favored by 2.5 at home, winning, covering, and over on the 64.5. And last we have the BYU Cougars, who are 5-2, going against the 4-3 Washington State Cougars. The Battle of the Cougars. BYU is favored by 3.5. I get them winning, covering, and over on the 55.5. All right, that will wrap up the 21 games we have on slate for Week 8 of the college football season. We'll have the CFL picks up later and probably tomorrow. I believe I'll do those. But NFL picks are already up. Please check those out. If you're a NASCAR fan, please check out the Xfinity Series preview. And it looks like there's still 6:49 left in the game. Let me refresh this here. Yeah. So let me double check to make sure. Yeah, 6:49 left. We are tied at 27. It looks like I think Coastal Carolina got the ball back. So that game still got some time on it and may go to overtime. So we will get this preview up. Again, that game is going on right now. I thought it was tomorrow night, so my bad. But as always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports talent content.